We're streaming again live from VIEQUES, Puerto Rico. And it's a beautiful morning again and again and again. It seems like one day after another just rolls off the press with beauty. And I thought I would come out here and do some yoga this morning in the gentle tropical breezes and on the sunshine of this patio. And I was just going to do it alone. And then I thought, well, why not broadcast it? If you're interested, I'm going to try another type of broadcasting today where we broadcast using the personal hotspot from the iPhone. And I think that should be a little bit better because it's not the, it's going through the 4G network here on the island, and it's not being used by anyone else in the hotel, so it's likely that it'll be a more steady connection. So we're going to go ahead and do another set of yoga. I never know exactly how it's going to go. Yesterday's went a lot more vigorously than I thought it was going to go, but let's see how this one takes us. Come join me. Here we are at the beautiful island of VIEQUES. I'll just spin around here a little bit so you can see the beautiful beach behind and the water. And then over there in that direction is the town of VIEQUES. And you can see this is the barbecue area where we've been barbecuing at night, creating fresh fish and other assorted delicacies. And then down the beach, farther around, of course it goes all the way around the island. Okay, I'm setting up here. Let's go ahead and set this down here so it doesn't get too hot. Get in the shade. And I'll try to find a way for this to Alright. I think we're doing good. So what I'd like to do is just warm ourselves up. So let's just do some breathing. I used to find that yoga was great, to practice a disciplined form. And I started doing disciplined forms when I was 14 years old, and I really got into it. And then I decided that somewhere along the line I felt as though I needed to just begin to practice and stretch and breathe the way my body felt was appropriate for the moment, rather than trying to attain some sort of disciplined form. It's nice to know where you can go with a form, but once you've got that form, you need to just take a look at it and see how you can make it your own. Same thing with Samadhi Game manifesto mantras of enlightenment. Those mantras also are meant to be a form that guides you into a thought form, a feeling tone that you can then generate on your own. So we're going to move a little bit. This is a great chest opener, shoulder opener, lower back opener, hamstring opener. The winds have died a lot, so have the waves, the swells. So I'm expecting that there'll be great skin diving today. I can see down, you can see the very bottom, you can see all the rocks, all of the sand, all the colors of the sea today. The last few days we've had rather large waves for VIEQUES. Not really that large, but enough to churn up the bottom and create a little murkiness. But today, happy anniversary, we're going to take a sailboat and take it around the island a little bit, find a cove, drop anchor, and do some skin diving in a private cove. So, on a private reef. From a 1941 built sloop, a beautiful boat, all wheel. So we're looking forward to that. I want to show you something on the camera. When I lived in Malibu, California, there was a... I didn't shave. I'm on island time. There was a... We lived right on Malibu Beach, on Malibu Road, and as you looked out, you could see Latigo Canyon Point in the front, and then behind that you could see the looming structure of Point Dumais out beyond. And here in VIEQUES, we're looking at the town of VIEQUES here. It kind of reminds me of that Latigo Point that we would look at. And then beyond that, it's not part of VIEQUES itself, it's another island called Celebra. I think it's Culebra. But it looks like the Point Dumais. And so every time I look out there, I get this image of Malibu. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it there. You can see the island in the distance. Let's see if I can get it straight there. Behind my head, the end of, that's VIEQUES in the foreground. And then behind, off on the horizon, you might be able to see the island of Culebra. Both of these islands, Culebra and VIEQUES, have really started up a dynamic tourist trade, which is really good for the island. And this island, VIEQUES, is very organic. And I mean that in a more general way. It's not, I don't mean, they all eat organic food and grow organic vegetables, although a lot of that is going on here. It's just that the process that's going on here is rather organic. Robbie and I have noted that even the animals here, there's horses that run free. I've never seen that anywhere else in the world like this, anywhere. Horses, I've seen, the only thing I can compare it to are the cows in India. They, run free, they actually come into homes, businesses. Here, I haven't seen a horse in a business or in a home, but I've seen them come right up to the doors, which is very interesting. It's very organic, very, they allow for a lot of movement, and it seems as though governmental restrictions aren't as great as they are in the States. Although Puerto Rico is kind of a state. So, okay, here's back to the yoga. Bring it down a little bit. Let's go ahead and do some warm-ups, more warm-ups. Let's do some knee bends. Breathing in, breathing out. Seems like we're holding a good connection. Yes. Good. things I like about yoga, and it bit me very soon in my life, was that I could do it anywhere. Didn't have to go to the gym, didn't have to go anywhere, could stand anywhere I wanted to within a 4x6 space and pretty much do like an entire workout. It makes it pretty good for those of you who convince yourself you've got to get a membership at a club and then go to the club for a month, maybe 6 weeks, and then start phasing out of use of that club. Maybe $100 a month for most clubs, maybe $150. Start phasing out, and then that club membership goes on for years, and you finally say, you know what, I think we better get rid of that club membership. But with yoga, you can do it everywhere. Let's go ahead and do some kicks. We're standing and balancing on one foot and kicking with the other. Really good for balance, really good for the legs, for the lower back. Keep those juices flowing in the spine, and the hips. Let's go ahead and do some hip rolls gently. It's going to be smooth sailing today. I can see the winds out beyond the point there of VIEQUES. We're already drawing some white caps out there. We're going to be sailing off the south side of the island into the Caribbean Sea, out past the 100-foot depth, 200-foot depth, 1,000-foot depth, 3,000-foot depth. We'll be going out watching the color of the ocean change as we sail out. We'll come back in, find a cove, a reef, put down near it, and then swim and skin dive. Look at all the fascinating flora and fauna under the water. Do some back adjustments with your back of your on the back of your hands. And then some swinging. The other thing with yoga, of course, is it has some meditative quality to it. So as you're doing your physical asana, or movement, you'll be contemplating on what's gone in the past, what's coming in the future, where you are in the present. Back again to hip swirls. Let's do a few standing poses. the side. This is called the tree pose, branches of the tree. The root of the tree is your foot. You're a palm tree. Think of yourself as a palm tree swaying in the breeze. You're going to move a little bit. You're going to have to use that calf muscle and the foot and the toes all to grasp the earth down deep. The deeper you grab, the deeper your visualization for that grab, the more stability you'll have in the pose. Coming out of the pose is as important as getting into it. Try to be real graceful. It's a contemplation as well as a physical exercise. Let's try the twisted tree. Twisted tree is a little bit different. Right leg over the left. Right arm under the left. Right leg, left leg over the right, left arm under the right. What's interesting too is you'll find day after day, one pose that you get one day very easily is difficult to obtain the next day. Easy the next, difficult, easy, difficult. So your body is going through biorhythms and you're trying to stabilize those biorhythms with your practice, saying, okay, I am in command of this body, I'm going to take command of it, I'm going to do this pose and I'm going to hold it. So there's a practice of the will, and stabilization through the currents of those biorhythms, which gives you a longevity beyond what you would get if you cycle deeply into those rhythms where you let weakness come to parts of the body and stay there for a while. We want to work them until they get back into that pure neutral witness of physicality. So some days you'll feel, oh, this is great, and the other days, I can hardly do this. Let's try this. My left leg, as most of you know by now, is a little less strong than my right, but I try anyway with it. Years ago, I lifted something heavier than I should have and hurt a disc, so that left leg became disabled to some degree. So I'm working to bring it back to full function. So I'm going to give the left leg a little bit more energy and do it again on the left side only. We can do the sun salutation. Let's go ahead and take the arms up. And let's just warm up the arms and the lower back by going up and down with the arms. And lean back slightly, breathing out, using this as a pranayama. go into the forward bend, breathing out. I just want to say, come on up if you'd like, that this forward bend is an important exercise. The back of those legs, the back of those knees are tight from all the sitting that we do. So we want to stretch that out gently. If you're feeling tight, even I've been doing this my whole life. And I can only get on almost, I can't go down all the way when I first start, but in the afternoon I can go all the way down and bend my head through my legs if I want to. When you start off in the mornings, be patient with yourself. Go down as far as you feel good. Keep the legs straight and push the hips up. So you're releasing more than just the back of the legs. You're releasing those hips, the lower back. Another pointer is when I do this sun salutation, everyone knows it to be this set of exercises that link several poses together. And think of them as you think of it generally as moving through them sort of fluidly. Well, we're doing it fluidly, but really slowly. We're taking our time with each pose as we begin so we can get the stretch and ease our bodies into it. Go ahead and step back with the right foot. In this pose, keeping that right leg energized, but dropping the hips. And it involves a little twisting, a little readjustment of the lower back. You might even feel it gives a little click or two. Get it right. And you find those quads really stretched on the backward leg. In the frontward leg, you'll find hamstrings on the inside of the leg there. Give a good pull, and the hip gets a nice opening as well. And then we open up the chest and look forward as much as we can. You might be like this, and that's fine. You can get this way, that's fine. I could go farther too, but I'm not pushing. Then let's come both back. Both legs back. And now we're in my favorite position, the downward dog. Started with the forward bend, you might be able to feel that in your hips and your hamstrings with this pose. And if you drop the head, you'll find that you can get a neck adjustment. mudra, which is just holding a very low push-up. And then pull it through. It's not something that most people here, even I, can hold for very long. And this is upward facing dog. And let's go back into downward facing dog. Rolling over the sound. Back down. Stepping forward. Same foot that you went back first with. Use your other leg back. And we can just allow ourselves to sink down into that now. And again, see how that hip drops, the quads expand at the front of the leg, almost all the way at the top where the hip is. How the shoulders relax, drop down, head comes up, the heart opens up a little bit. Twisting the lower back in order to drop those hips down so that the chest can come forward. Step forward with the other leg, go back into that forward bend again. Bring it on up, bring your hands into prayer, breathe it all the way up to the top. Bending back with the breath, and exhaling the arms coming down. And just feel all of that prana flowing. And bending forward. Go a little faster this time. See if you can find the full stretch in the few moments of the spin you're remembering what you did earlier. Remembering the feeling of earlier. Where you took time in each pose. And again, this time right leg goes back. Time left leg goes back. It's after the pose that we pause and feel the flow of that pose. Feel what it's done to the body. All right, let's do a few floor poses. Let's bring it down here. See if we can get you in the view here. Sorry for the noise. More of the sandy ocean and all of that. Viewing pleasure. It's beautiful down there. All right, so just for a few moments, let's breathe and move very slowly, or as fast as your breath is. I'm just going to grab it. You might find with this breath that one side of your body is freer than the other. It's an opportunity to work gently with the breath and with the movement. Free up that fascia tissue, those tendons, those muscles that need to be opened up. And then just sit quietly for a few moments, taking in the sun, the presence of your room, the presence of your locale, the beauty of spring, the sun shining through a window, the ocean waves breaking, the wind through the palms, the sounds that you might be hearing from the broadcast of the island of VIEQUES. Extend the legs out front. And then reaching for those toes. If you can only go to the knees, that's all you do. Keeping the chest open. You can reach Keeping the chest open, the legs, the knees straight. Finding that stretch in the lower back and in the hips. What you can do gently. Not dropping the head, keeping the head forward and up. And bit by bit, you can release with each breath. Little bit. Sometimes you don't want to release, then don't. Hold still. You're letting go of all that holding that's taking on in those muscles in the lower back, in the back of the legs, the back of the knees. When I watch Elliot, our daughter, do this pose, she can go all the way down, bending her stomach right up against her quadriceps, her thighs. And when you bend that far, she puts her chin in between her knees, between her shins. It's beautiful to see. That's a really advanced yogi. She's really gotten into yoga. Highly recommend, if you haven't seen any of her classes, to tune in this summer to the 8 days of Samadhi, which will be broadcasting, hopefully, live yoga classes as well. It'll be an experiment. It may or may not happen, but I'm pretty sure it'll work. We're going to use the iPhone camera and the app that's been developed by Ustream to broadcast through the camera, through the Wi-Fi, to the computer, and then out to you. How about that? Pretty cool. So we'll be doing yoga at Sunny Mellow on the terraced beach, we call it, in the back. We love the beach, so we just thought, well, this is named at the beach. I'm just releasing and coming straight forward. We're just going to sit straight up, taking those shoulders back, the chest out. You can put the hands straight down, fingers forward at the sides. This is called the staff pose. You're just sitting tall, and you'd be surprised how difficult this is until you're limbered up. Most of us aren't used to this, even this much of a bend, but once you get there, it's a beautiful pose. It makes that spine erect. The chin is parallel to the floor, parallel to the horizon. Shoulders are back and drop down. And we're going to go into the reverse table pose, okay? It's an easy pose. You're just going to put your hands, leave your hands exactly where you had them, and then bring those hips up. There you go. And hold that. This is good for the lower back, shoulders specifically, and the stomach even. Shouldn't drop the head back. The head should be even so that the chin goes straight up, perpendicular to the floor. And now if you'd like to, take those legs out, lift it up. Now the head can come back. And then release it down. Come back into that forward bend. We'll do a few rounds of this. It's a great exercise. You'll find that when you have a whole assortment of yoga poses to do, there's certain ones that you'll want to do at a certain time. Certain days you'll want to do others. constantly creative process. Getting a little bit more wind right now, but it's beautiful. Breathing deeply. You can bilocate. You can pretend, if you're watching this show, you can pretend in your mind's eye that you can even smell the sea air where I am when you breathe in. You can pretend that you're sitting here on this patio right next to me. You can feel the warmth coming out of this tile patio. You can feel the breezes. You can hear the waves, not just on the speaker, but you can hear them in your own ear, your own inner ear. You're bilocating now. Someone posted on Facebook the other day that they were grateful for all of the sharings that Robbie and I were doing from our trip here, because they're not well enough to travel. And they get so much delight out of seeing all of these beautiful pictures and places and things that we do. It almost brought tears to my eyes yesterday when I read that, because it was so sweet. She recognizes that ability to bilocate through a picture and your imagination. So you're using your eye magic, your eye hearing, your eye smelling, your imaginary smelling, hearing, seeing, touching, feeling. And believe it or not, when you do those types of visualizations, you actually set the groundwork on the etheric plane of you actually being here. Let's do that backward plank again, that backward table, which we're going to take into the plank again. You'll find yourself maybe coming up this high, go higher. Don't let the knees come out, keep the knees straight. And the legs straight. Strengthen the core. Oh, the core. Come back into that forward bend again. Whether it's the knees or the shins or the ankles or the toes. Letting yourself bend from that waist. Gently. I'd like to do the sideward plank. One leg down, the other on top of it, and then come up. And the arm can go here, or straight up, looking up. The side, I like it this way. This has been shown to help and actually straighten to some degree scoliosis bends. Whatever direction your spine bends in, that's the side you should spend more time on. And it will help to straighten those scoliosis bends. Great exercise. And then relax it down. Bring it on up. Let's go to the other side. I'm going to have to look away from you to stay in the camera here. Bring it on up. I see my lovely bride in the door of our cottage. And as always, she's got her camera in her hand and she's making beautiful photos. Again, of the entire beautiful trip. Very beautiful. Let's do a spinal twist, okay? So we're going to take one leg back, one leg over. All right, move back a little bit so you can see. And then bring one arm over and one on the side. You see. Just to give you an idea of how I have changed my practice, when I was first starting yoga at 14, 15 years old, I could bend this like a pretzel. This arm would go like this and pull around and I could sit straight and everything. I don't really have that capacity anymore. I try sometimes to get a little bit of it, but not really. And I take the second course, which is just holding this way. So it's a little less demanding on the lower back and on the ribs. But I like to open it up. You'll find that as you age, those ribs, the intercostals, begin to become more tight. And if you're into longevity and health, well-being and vitality, you want to keep those rib cartilages open. And keep everything flowing nicely so you can breathe easily. This pose does a lot to open up that cartilage between those rib cages. And it doesn't have to go that far. And if you can't do it this way, you can leave one leg straight. You can leave this leg straight. You can just do it this way. You just hold on like that. Turn little ways. And visualize yourself looking over your shoulder and saying, "Come friends, join me in my feast of light." Pretty much what I'm doing right here with Samadhi Game. And I determined to do with Samadhi Game yoga and mantras years ago. I thought, I'm doing all these mantras, I'm doing all this yoga, and I've been doing it since I was 15. Why not now with technology share it so it can be, other people can follow along in this path of light, inspiring them. I know there's many people that actually have a much more polished presentation of yoga and of mantra and of enlightenment. But I really feel that there's something to the personal approach that I'm taking with this yoga, this meditation, this mantra, that makes it real for people. They can see that it's not just an image, it's not just a politically correct way of doing things. It's actually something that you can make a life pattern. Okay, let's do the other side. One second. Sorry. Dyslexia just got me. And again, I'm thinking, come friends, join me in my feast of light. He's monitoring. We're trying something new today. If you're joining late, we're trying a new way of broadcasting. Because the internet is a little bit sketchy here in VIEQUES, it works, and actually it's pretty good for just normal surfing, but oftentimes you'll have these breaks. I don't know why that is. Maybe just, all of a sudden the lines get jammed between here and the mainland, and you get a down period and you lose connection. So we're trying using just the personal hotspot on the iPhone, which seems to be working just great. I've really enjoyed that iPhone personal hotspot in hotels and elsewhere where there's no connection. And you want to use your computer, not just your iPhone. I think we're going to go back onto our backs. We're going to do a little bit of really deep relaxation. You can begin by feeling the weight of your body pressing down against the floor, against your mat. Feel all of the pranas released in all of our yogas today, all of our exercises, all of our breaths. Feel the goodness, the vitality released, vibrating, resonating to the marrow of your bone. In each body part, consciously relaxing the feet, the calves, the knees, the hips, the thighs, the hips, consciously letting them go, dropping them down, heavier and heavier, the pelvis, the genitals, the stomach, the lower back, the middle back pressing itself into the floor, into your mat. Heavier and heavier, more and more relaxed. The breath flowing easily through the ribs, through the lungs, through the thoracic cavity, the heart, open and relaxed. The shoulders, the arms, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, fingers, all relaxed. The neck, the ears, the back of the head, the top of the head, the temples, the eyes, relaxing the eyes as though you couldn't open them if you tried. So relaxed. The nose, the forehead, the cheeks, the mouth, the chin, all dropping heavily into your mat. ever so gently, rocking the head, the arms, feet, bringing awareness back to the body. You're going to use this body, this re-energized body now, to sit up gently by rolling to your right, pushing with your hand to get up, and then sitting again. Let's just sit for a few moments in this peace. Let yourself equilibrate in this position. As we meditate, we're going to relax deeply and feel the heart. The most basic form of meditation is to think on something that opens your heart. Maybe it's a lover, a parent, a relative, a brother, a sister, a great friend, a knowable person that you hold high in your image. Hold their image high in your consciousness. A cat, a dog, an animal, a baby smiling, playing, giggling, a beautiful sunrise, a sunset, a beautiful beach, wind through trees, waves breaking, sun shining. Your heart opens, and you feel nothing but love. And now focus your attention on that love, as though you were zooming in on it. That's all you're going to look at. That's all you're going to see is love. More and more love. The love overwhelming, captivating, so beautiful, so intelligent, so powerful. You've done your work with the breath, with the body, and now just love. And you'll find the trick is when you lose it, come back to it again. Develop it again, and again, and again. A rosary of diving into the love, into the depths, the clear blue sea of love. You'll find the soul, your soul, loves to dwell and meditate on love. And when you've caught that groove, that will be all you can do to come back to this world of form. But bring it back and infuse everything that you do today with that love, that new prana, that new vitality that you just invoked with your every breath, your every movement, your every intention. Everything you do today, everyone you see, smile at them. Right off the bat, hi. My great teacher, and this is my wife. No matter what the turmoil, no matter what the upheaval, no matter what the problem, stressing in the moment, she just turns and smiles. And it all just dissolves away. So today, not only do we honor all of you who come, but specifically today, on this anniversary day of Robbie and I'm honoring her and her great love that she shares with us all. In every single one of her posts and every single one of her pictures, if you only knew the focus and the intention and the excitement and the passion that she's put in to the taking of the photo, the editing of the photo, the posting of it, and writing a comment on it. It is an art form. The knowledge of all of the social media and the sharing that we're able to do today, like nowhere else in history, is actually the beginning of a beautiful, magnificent art form. We're all privy to it. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining and being here with me in your finer bodies, with your bilocation. I can feel you all. Thank you for being here. It's been such a great session. If you're out in the sun with me, remember, you have to put on some suntan lotion. You don't want to get burned out here, because you are here. All right, have a great day. Love you lots.